Okay, we covered the 401 and the 403, but these are mostly for our northern markets. When we get into some of our southern markets, like in Florida, we have installation challenges. So, Gary, can you kind of describe what we've got going with the remote units and how we took care of those challenges?
Yeah, with the tight space and coil irradiation and the things that are important in the southern market, there's no room to mount this. So we have remote lamps. This is a remote lamp that would go over a coil or possibly under a coil. It has a waterproof boot that goes over the lamp. So let's say you wanted to mount this on the underside of the coil in the D plate. This is, I believe, 1.5 inches thick, and there's 2 inches of space in there. So there's a 1/2 inch of extra space for this. So if you mount this in, you'll still be able to get the plate on. If it starts sweating and gets moisture over the top of it, it's not going to hurt the electrical connections or bother anything. And then we actually have a watertight male-female plug arrangement, so it's easy to route the wires through the air handler and get it into that area.
Now, are we using the same ballast here as we use in these units?
Still the same ballast. It's a really cool program start ballast, and we still want to cycle for the same reasons. Now we have the oxidation unit, still with the patented adjustment, but this is
So
remote.
it's basically the bottom part of this unit you're holding in your hand.
Right, so we took that unit, made it into 3 pieces. We have the power supply, then we have the remote lamp and the remote oxidation.
Okay.
We'd still like to have the oxidation on the return side of the system, and you could put the lamp on the supply side of the system above or below the coil. Reason for that is we're making this tiny bit of oxidant. When we take it through the blower, the friction of going through the blower, about half of it's gone instantly. It's done its thing and gotten rid of gases and odors as much as it can. By the time you push it up through the heat exchanger evaporator into the supply plenum, it's all used up. We do our air cleaning in the ductwork, not out in the home.
Right.
Then that makes us a bit different than the competitors. That's also why we like this ballast that can cycle. If you're making a little bit of oxidant, it's non-measurable, it's just going through the system, everything's great. Now you shut the fan off.
And then you're going to get a little pocket of it sitting there.
Yeah, we'll get a pocket of it, and it settles in the bottom of the blower cabinet. What's in the bottom of the blower cabinet?
Yeah, rubber mountings, you got plastic wires. And
all that stuff's going to oxidize, and you're going to go on a service call, and you're going to have a rattly blower. And you go, well, that's unusual. I never have to replace these rubber grommets.
Yeah.
And
what's going on here?
oh, well, you oxidized them.
Yeah.
So
these units, all these units are able to cycle because of the type of ballast they have in it?
all these will cycle, and that's pretty unique to us. Most of the competitors do not use this type of ballast technology. If they cycle theirs, their lamps will fail within 6 months.
Okay, so we're able to get, I think you told me once, 200,000 cycles probably out of these?
Easy 200,000 cycles out of a lamp.
And we got 32,000 cycles per year, so you get 6 to 7 years cycling at it.
6 or 7 years of cycling.
But the lamp's not going to last that long anyway for creating the UVC energy.
No, the solarizing, we should really replace the lamps every 2 years. If it goes out 3 years, it's not the end of the world. Beyond that, we're going to start losing our ability to kill microorganisms as they flow through, so we wouldn't really want to go that long with a lamp.
So we got 2 different ballast configurations here. This looks like obviously smaller than this one. What's the differences here?
Yeah, the 50DR is a 50-watt power supply with 2 devices, an oxidation unit or the germicidal lamp, or you can install it with just the germicidal lamp, and I call it an upgradable product. Let's say you install this and just put the lamp on the coil. You need to irradiate the coil. And then when you come and do a cleaning check in 6 months, you tell the home, geez, your coil is nice and clean, the unit's doing a great job.
Now let's freshen up the home.
Yeah, let's freshen up the home. I could add the oxidation unit and connect it to the power supply that I already installed on your furnace.
So it's real easy installation. Just cutting a hole for that and then just plugging it in here.
Just plugging it into here. So they've already done the biggest part of the investment with the power supply and the lamp. Now you can upgrade it with that, so it gives you another opportunity for another upgrade with that.
Or there's a lot of people, especially down south, where they sell a lot of UV, that they already have a UV. You know,
right.
And they just keep the UV in there, and then you can come in with the oxidation unit.
Yeah, in that case, you can just install the oxidation unit to freshen it, and then when you come back the next year, say, you know, the lamp that's in your system's a 45 microwatt lamp, the bulb needs to be replaced. How about if I upgrade it to a 180 microwatt lamp now, and you can upgrade the other way and get the full system in. So it really makes it easy for the tech to upgrade and try to get the best technology in.
So why the bigger ballast then, the 100?
This one's a 100-watt ballast, so it's quite a bit larger, and that's if we want to put two 2 of the germicidal lamps on the system. So now we have 2 remote lamps. You can use the 16-inch lamps or the 12-inch lamps, and they're typically one below and one above the coil. So that would really be a system where you're having an unusual amount of problems with mold,
Right.
or I can't use that word, but build up around the coil, and you want to get it under and
Biological
above.
growth.
Biological growth. Got to be politically correct on our statements. So we're getting over the 50 watt limit of this ballast, so we had to go to 100 watt ballast to be able to put 2 16-inch lamps.
Okay. So we can't run 216 off of here. So
No.
we're going to go to 2. Can you run a 12 and a oxidizing unit off this? That's
Yeah.
what it's made for, right?
This will run a 12 or a 16 in an oxidizing unit,
Both at the same time.
both at the same time. I think we have some 7-inch lamps that could run a pair of 7s, which are going to be about 70 microwatt lamps. Now in doing that, now we're not going to have the in-stream kill rate, so it's not my favorite thing, but once in a while we'll find a contractor that is just really worried about the coil and wants a lamp above and below, and we can go to the lighter microwatt lamps and do that with a smaller power
Well, you know, when we
supply.
get into southern markets, the unique thing about that is they physically see the biological growth.
Exactly.
In our northern markets, you usually don't.
Never.
So that when you can show the homeowner that stuff, that's usually what they get into is how can we get the stuff off the surfaces. But I think that the technicians still need to understand it's not only surface kill, but we want to get that airborne stuff as well. So we still need the 180 microwatts.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, if the technology is capable of keeping the surface really clean and is capable of
Might as well do both,
deactivating
right?
microorganisms, yeah, why don't we use the full potential of the technology? So, yeah, to me, if there's room for a 16-inch lamp, I'd put the 180 microwatt lamp in every time. If you're challenged on plenum depth, then put the 140 microwatt lamp in. But you know, you're giving the homeowner the best technology and the best ability, you know, that UV offers. It doesn't make any sense to give them less.
Okay, so just to summarize, we've taken this unit, our 403, which has a 180 microwatt UVC lamp, which we're getting about 4 feet on either side of that for sterilization
Yes.
and kill, depending on what microorganism we're trying to attack. And then we've got the oxidizing unit on the bottom here that's patented adjustable. And then the 401, no oxidation, but same lamp.
Same kill rate.
And so we just take this and we just break these down for installation purposes.
Right.
Is what we've got going on. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, plus there's a whole bunch of accessories, duct mount plates, and things you may need to mount in magnetic brackets, things you need to mount in different
Yeah,
types
we're going
of
to cover that
spaces,
in the
and
next video.
very versatile.
All right, great. Thanks, Gary.
Thank you.